Okay, everybody, this is hopefully not too long of a video. This is to talk about the drain plug on a Kawasaki. This is a Toro ZTR, and I have a Kawasaki FR600V, FR600V, 20 horsepower, and I ran into trouble last year and patched it and fixed it this year. So the trouble was, some of you that have these older Kawasaki's have seen this before. This is the drain plug that comes with it. This is the drain plug that comes with it. And if you see right here, this little hole, there used to be a nipple that protruded from that hole. And the way that this is supposed to work is, you're supposed to periodically, whenever you're changing your oil, put a hose on the end of that tube that comes with the mower, and then you're supposed to twist out this plug until the plug passes the hole, allowing the oil to flow freely through the hole. Well, what happened to me last year was these little threads, because this was not a great design, because you see how open and loose that is. These threads get caked with all kinds of dust and grass clipping and whatnot. And so when it came time for me to change my oil, when I had done this previously, this end was slotted. And the first time I did this, I just put a screwdriver on it. Put a flat-bladed screwdriver between these two slots and was able to just turn it out. Well, could be my own fault, but when I went to change the oil last year, the plug was stuck, and the more I tried to turn, the more that I started to tear this. And when I changed tack and tried to put a socket on this, well, because it has those cut grooves in there, the tips, the ends, would just bend, and I could never get purchased with a socket or a wrench on the end. Now I finally got to the point where I thought, maybe I could put a screw in to shore this up, and eventually that's how it got it off. But because of the geometry down there, I could never get enough leverage to turn this out. So what I had to do last year was get a hacksaw, cut off the nipple, because that's the only way I could turn the whole plug. It's so low to the ground down there that I couldn't spin it all the way around. So took the hacksaw, cut it off. Of course I made a mess. I didn't get any on the concrete, but I made more of a mess than I like. Cut the nipple off, and then was able to get a wrench, an open-end wrench, onto these sides, and was able to twist this out. And once I twisted the whole thing out, then I was able to drain the engine. Now I could have just gone ahead and messed with this plug then and loosened this up and maybe found some way to grease it up, but the problem was I'd already cut off the nipple. I had spent some time going around town trying to find some other way of doing this, and I couldn't. So I just left this alone and told myself that the next time I changed the oil, I would switch over. Now I had seen one of these before. This drain hose is, let's see, it's made by, well, it's got Veriflex on here. Tell you what, I'll put in the description what these measurements are, but I had to look up what this particular Kawasaki engine, what particular size. These threads down here are not typical threads. These are something like 25.2 was the measurement on that. Something that was just totally off. So this was a special kind of purchase. Even other people that make similar kinds of plugs, they don't all make this size. So now what I have is I have the right size thread. I'll be able to screw this in and tighten this up a bit. I've already put this on once. I took it off so y'all could see it. And at the opposite end is going to be my permanent hose with a permanent brass cap. that I know to put on hand tight. Considering that I have these two 6-sided nuts here, I could put it on probably as tight as I want, as long as I'm ready to come back out with 2 wrenches to separate this apart. But for now, I'm going to go with just pretty good hand tight and screw this in a little better than hand tight, and I'll be in business. So if you get stuck like I did, it's not that hard of a fix. But the problem is, if you want to go and find something like this at your local Home Depot or at your auto parts store, you may not be able to. These threads may not be a size that you can readily find. I tried to fashion one of these out of different parts over at the auto parts store, and what eventually got me was these threads. They had nothing in the store that could match them. I could have duplicated all the rest of this. All the rest of this stuff would have been easy. But these threads is what held me up. So put this back on for last year, and now we're changing it out. So hope if any of you get in a bind, you'll think about this, and just know that these things, you're not going to find them at Lowe's. All right, this was I think the modern mowers are set up like this. I think they learned their lesson. But I'll go ahead and put in the model number of my engine and the information to find this drain hose in the description. Alright guys, y'all have a good day.